Hi, so I just finished reading the Laramie Project, and I thought it was really interesting right off the bat when I saw that they were going right into interviews and interviewing all of the townspeople and the different opinions that they thought and what happened with the story of Matthew Shepard. And I really think this like unraveled the story and the different opinions really the town had and how it changed their perspective and how they thought about homosexuals. So two values that I thought were being represented were acceptance and bigotry. I felt acceptance was being represented in this because the Catholic Church accepted to have a funeral for Matthew there, and even though the townspeople weren't necessarily happy about it, they still did it, and it was a good ceremony. I think bigotry was being represented in this story because even though what happened to Matthew was awfully tragic, people still couldn't move past their thought of homosexuals and the bad things that have been happening to them for a long time and the different stereotypes that they often face each day. So something I didn't understand was on page 55, and that was when Aaron Krefels he said love the person for who they are, but condemn what they do, condemn the lifestyle. So I think he was trying to say that although what happened to Matthew was terrible, um, I still don't support homosexuals and I still don't support the lifestyle that they choose. And I really felt that this set the whole storyline for how a lot of these townspeople felt in this play. So, for question number 4, I think it was definitely just a normal town. Anything, really any town this can happen to. So I really think that the acceptance and tolerance were at different ranges because they tolerated it because necessarily they didn't really know about it. So they tolerated it as a society, but later, looking into what happened to Matthew, they weren't accepting of the circumstances that homosexuals, their life and how they want to live. So even though they tolerated it, later realized they didn't really accept it. And I do think something like this could happen in Columbus, as it could happen anywhere. And I really think the tectonic eater project was trying to represent that although society hopes for the best intentions of people, it doesn't always happen that way, and it sometimes ends negatively. So for 3 examples that really set this play apart from Intimate Apparel is that there's a large list of characters in the Laramie Project versus Intimate Apparel. That really the Laramie Project was very interview based, while Intimate Apparel was more of a storyline, and also that Intimate Apparel focused really on one specific thing that African Americans had a hard time in the 1900s, while this story focused on a really big overall topic that's still hitting our world today and how we accept homosexuals into our world and into our lives. So 2 questions I have for you guys is how do you think the Laramie Project, since the Laramie Project took place, has society changed its views on homosexuals and their rights? And also, do you think the 2 men that robbed and then tied to a fence and beat Matthew to death should have had harsher consequences and immediately face the death penalty?